Welcome back to Shop Talk. And if you haven't noticed already, this is our new little one. This is Esme. We're very, very grateful to have her as a part of the family. But if you notice by the title, this is going to be a new session. And what this is going to be called is the Obria Update. Now, back around probably Thanksgiving, a little before then, my wife and I attended a meeting about Obria. And what Obria is they are a life-affirming medical clinic. Obviously, pro-life has been a huge under attack lately because of the reversal of Roe v. Wade. And I'm not getting into as to whether what side you're on as far as that goes. All I'm going to do is give you some information about this clinic. I think they're a great clinic. And the cat's up here. But anyways, we got to meet the director or the CEO, I think, or she's pretty high up, anyways, and she was great to talk to. Had a lot of information. We asked. Obria doesn't stand for anything in particular. She thought maybe they chose that because they like the OB in it. But they give us, so we signed up for the newsletters, and so what this update is going to be every time we get a newsletter. I think it's probably once a month or so, and then I'm going to go ahead and give you the update. Now, initially, I'm going to read some stuff from this particular newsletter. Eventually, what it'll be is we get a story of a baby that was saved, and that'll be the update from here on out. But for today, because this is the first time talking about it, I wanted to go ahead and give you a little information about who Obria is. They're based mostly out of Ames when it comes to Iowa. Their headquarters is actually out in California, but they have an Ames clinic that's an actual building, but they also have a mobile unit that comes up to Fort Dodge and services this area. They are currently looking for a building so that they can be more permanent and offer more services, but they offer quite a bit as of right now. So they gave us some information, and some of this was covered in the meeting as well. Unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation out there when it comes to these type of clinics, and this is, I'll just read from it. This is one of the things that's gone out that isn't accurate. It's not true. So it says, we recently received a flow chart created by the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, or also known as ACOG, which outlines how to identify a crisis pregnancy center, a CPC. ACOG points out that the staff at a CPC may provide medically inaccurate information, emphasize the dangers of abortion, and manipulate women to continue their pregnancy. ACOG states that CPCs are not subject to HIPAA or required by law to maintain client confidentiality. More than ever, it is imperative that we provide healthcare that is evidence-based, excellent, holistic, and compassionate. Obria's strategic medical model requires HIPAA compliance, strict client confidentiality, and staffing clinics with licensed medical staff, including nurse practitioners and or physicians. So obviously there's a lot of misinformation in there. This is a life-affirming medical clinic. That's really important, the medical clinic part. They are subject to HIPAA laws. They can't just give your information out. Now, they do not offer or refer you for an abortion. But Obria's approach is Iowa, you are required before you get an abortion that you have to go and get an ultrasound. And so what Obria does is they offer these ultrasounds for free. They offer, like it says, holistic care. So they offer not just an ultrasound, but they offer to take care of maybe STD testing or treating STDs. They offer the spiritual side of it. However, they don't push it. If somebody says, no, I'm not interested, they back off of that. They're not going to push on the spiritual side, but they do know that if there is an open door there, it will do them some good to have that spiritual side. And they have, like it says, licensed staff, whether it's a nurse practitioner or other kind of physicians. And in fact, somebody in my wife's family, actually, I don't know if she works with them, or so like she's paid or if she volunteers, but either way, she's helping them out. And she's a nurse practitioner. So that's really cool that we actually have a connection that we didn't even know about prior to that meeting. So I'm going to continue on with a little bit more that they have. This is just some facts that are going on in the state of Iowa. In Iowa, abortion rates increased by 42% from 2018 to 2020. Nearly 80% of abortions in 2020 were medical abortions. The FDA removed the requirement for an in-person appointment for a medical abortion, so most occurring in women's homes without medical care. A medical abortion involves taking two medications that block progesterone, excuse me, I may have still pronounced that wrong, and cause intense uterine contractions and bleeding. We want to reach these women first so we can provide them with accurate information regarding abortion procedures and pregnancy, time to consider their decision, and holistic support so that they are empowered to choose life. Now, they want, obviously, it being a life affirming clinic, they want them to choose life. However, they're not going to try to bully you into it or manipulate into it. They try to give you all of the possible information, whether that is information on, like it says, what the abortion procedures are, and they just give you facts. And unfortunately, abortion is a very brutal thing, and so it may come across as manipulating, but it's just honest facts. Also, they give information on adoption, that type of stuff. They also partner with churches, so they don't necessarily provide the supplies and stuff like that, whether it's diapers, blankets, and support like that. But they partner with churches, including our church, and so that's how they give them a support system and some of the other things that they may need, formula, like I said, blankets, diapers, clothes, those kind of things, through the churches that they partner with. It also says that we can also offer the abortion pill reversal if they regret their decision after taking the first medication. That's kind of a new thing that they did. So as it said, that progesterone, and again, I'm probably butchering that, but if they, when it started, the pregnancy needs that, the baby needs that to start forming in all of this, and so when it's getting blocked, these reversals can actually start to get that flowing again, and so then you can actually still continue the pregnancy. It's not too late if you just take that first pill. Now they do include a little bit of scripture because they are a holistic, including the spiritual side. And it says, this is coming to you from Matthew 18, verses 3 through 5. And I've done a little daily scripture on this one. Truly I tell you, Jesus said, unless you turn and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, whoever humbles himself like this child, this one is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoever welcomes one child like this in my name welcomes me. And so all of that brings me to this story. And this is a story of a baby that has been saved through Obria. So I think these stories are something that's great to hear, especially if you are on the side of pro-life and you want to see babies saved. This is, and really, I think anybody on either side is going to appreciate a story like this. I think sometimes we get too much into, if you're on the side of pro-choice, that you're just evil, and that's not the case either. I can see the passion on that side. While I may not agree with that side, it doesn't mean that I think those people are horrible people. So I think even that side will appreciate this story. At the top, it says, God saved the baby. It says, I came to the USA for my job, leaving my 1-year-old son and 22-day-old daughter with my mom. Yes, you read that right, 22 days old daughter. I had a C-section and my wounds were not healed yet, but I took a 24-hour flight and came to Ames for my job. I made this hard decision for my kids because even though I am married, I was living the life of a single mom who must search and scoop all the resources for her kids. I had nothing, no job, no house. After 6 months, I contacted my husband and begged him to bring my son and daughter to the USA so I can have mental peace. He could bring only my son, and my daughter was still in my home country. My life was getting harder day by day, and then I came to know that I was pregnant again. That news was like a bomb for me. It felt like I was dead. I went into severe anxiety and depression. I was unable to think about how I could manage it all. The responsibility of 3 kids is not an easy task. Even though I love my kids so much, I decided to abort the baby. I talked to a very close friend. She is like my mom, and she took me to Obria. I still remember her words. She said, "No matter what you decide for this baby, I will still love you." I was 7 weeks pregnant when I first heard my baby's heartbeat. It melted my heart. All the emotional support I got from Obria led me to change my decision, and I finally decided to keep the baby. Before knowing the gender, I decided to name the baby Muhammad Essa. Essa is the name for Jesus Christ in Muslim. This name is as special as the baby. I fell twice during the 3rd trimester of my pregnancy, and God saved the baby. On June 9th, I delivered Muhammad Essa in Ames, and it was the happiest day of my life. He has brought a lot of blessings into my life. Whenever I see his face, it reminds me what I was going to do with this little sweetheart. Thanks to my special friend Nancy and Obria, they saved me from the guilt of killing my own baby. And we'll see if I can get you to be able to see here. There is little Muhammad Essa. And something that I do love is Obria. They're based as a Christian life-affirming clinic. However, that doesn't mean that they're not going to try to help babies from all cultures, from all religions, because all life is precious. So from now on, the updates will be much shorter, but I just wanted to let you know kind of what's out there. So, as always, stay salty and be kind, my friends.